Thanks for joining me for the first video to introduce you to TAFE and TAFE Connect and how to access your assignments and submit them. You may notice a little bit of sound in the background. There are some people completing some works on the building, and you may hear a little bit of a hammer drill in the background. That it currently isn't present, but it should start in the next video. I'll walk you through how to submit your first assessment and also how to find information on Connect. So the very first thing that you'll need to do is to log on to Connect. So type in Connect TAFE and you'll find that in a Google search fairly easily, and then select TAFE Queensland. Once you're in here, you'll see the option to enter in your username and password. Your username will most likely be a unique student number. Second to that, you'll find that your password will be issued to you. However, if you forget, you should be able to use the password manager to reinstate a new password. So click Login and you'll see the opening page. Here we go. Now I'm going to have a great deal more assessments visible in mine as I teach several groups. Let's see if we can change this to view as a student. I can't do that here. I'll have to do that in the next window. So if we look for the unit that you'll first be completing, it'll be WHS, or Workplace Health and Safety, and it's under Massage and the Law. So I'll just type in law here, and you can see here your delivery. So select the one that is identical or very similar to that, excluding the year. So in the case here, this is recorded in 2021. If you're looking at this at a later date, it might have 2022. However, what you'll be looking for is the law and massage. That is the key. Over here, content. That's where you find information about your subject and what it is that you're studying, with additional resources to support your learning in addition to what you find in class. Assignments is where you will submit your assignments, and you can actually download the assignments here too. Quizzes. Some units have quizzes, some don't. You can also check your grades. These other elements here wouldn't necessarily relate to you as a student. However, over here, I'm just going to view it as a student and we should see the change. Here we go. So, first thing you'll need to do, you can log into assignments. From there, you'll download the assignments that you will be completing for this subject. Once you've clicked on assignments, you'll find that there will be a few different links that you can follow. And the first thing is you'll see assignment task 1, attempt 1. So in here, this is where you will be able to initially download the assessment, and you'll also see that there is an attempt 2. So if you've required to make modifications to your assessment, then you can resubmit here after your teacher has graded your first attempt. Okay, so when you select the first link here, you'll see AT1 PE, Performance Evidence. Underneath that you'll see one with MC, Marking Criteria. These are the elements which we expect to see you complete within your assignment. And there is also a supplementary for AT1 Risk Management Plan. Okay, so I will take you through these one at a time, but I will start with the marking criteria. This is something that you don't complete. It gives you a guideline so you know what it is that we are looking for in this assessment, AT1 PE. So I'll click on that and download it. Here we are. So when your assignment is completed, we'll be working through this checklist to ensure that you've completed everything on it. So perform and complete a risk assessment with documentation, diagram and photos. So in your assignment, you will be completing a risk assessment, looking for dangers and hazards in the workplace, and you will provide documentation with a diagram and photos. So the diagram will be of the floor plan, of the clinic that you're discussing in your assignment, and some photos of any hazards you identified. Then the next criteria, determine the likelihood and consequence of each identified risk. This will apply to a risk matrix. Establish appropriate risk management and treatment methods. And you can get the idea that these are the assessment items that we will need to see that you've completed for it to be successful. Now, there are several different items that we'll be looking for in your assessment, including that you've used references and sources as appropriate. The method of referencing we use is the APA from the American Psychological Association, APA referencing. That's something that is actually available in your assessments. So if we click on references here, and you'll see here references, and the style of referencing is APA. Okay, that will help you with your referencing if you're unfamiliar with it. There are plenty of videos on YouTube, and we also have some information at TAFE, and you can ask the librarian at TAFE on how to complete referencing if you're unfamiliar. With each marking criteria, you'll see the first attempt, attempt 1, and there is satisfactory and unsatisfactory. And so if you are successful and you have all the criteria, for example, you perform a risk assessment and you include the 3 things, documentation, diagrams and photos, 1, 2, 3, you'll get a mark saying that that was successful. If you were to neglect putting in a risk matrix, I'll show you a picture of those shortly, then you will be, and if you neglected to put that in, then we would click unsatisfactory, and you would need to put that in your second attempt, where we would then mark you satisfactory upon your including that in the assessment. So I'll minimize this, and we'll show you the next item. So here is the assessment itself. I'm going to click on that and download it. You can see here it is downloading. This is a template. You can complete it as a Word document, and there is the option to complete it as a series of PowerPoint slides. Let's have a look at this one.